This Sunday finds us
in Kimba.
Let's take a look at how we got here.
We started the week in Ceduna.
So the Ceduna foreshore caravan park, as you can see, the last few days we've lost quite a few people, but then every night it's filled up. It's obviously the start or the end of the Nullarbor, depending on which way you're coming. And a lot of people seem to just stop here for a couple of days, get their bearings, get their supplies and head off in either direction. But when we did come to Ceduna, there was talk about a little bit of security and stuff like that. But this park, right in town, it's got a good security fence all the way around, keypads to get in after certain times, and we've been here for 3 nights and there's been absolutely no issues at all. So we've taken the opportunity to go for a bit of a drive out to Penong. And what's out at Penong, Tanya, that you're keen to go and look at?
The windmills.
The windmills? And it's not far from the Pink Lakes.
That's right, yeah.
So we're just going to have a bit of a drive and a bit of a look around this. Whee, sorry, I waved and dropped you. All right, Tanya, where are we?
We are at Penong.
Whereabouts at Penong?
At the windmills.
At the windmills.
And there's no wind.
First day we've had with no wind. Are you a big fan of windmills?
I like the windmills.
They are big fans. So it makes you wonder why every house didn't have one of these. A swing that's set up to pump water. Doesn't look like a lot of water, but it is water. Having fun pumping the water, Tanya?
You get to have a swing.
You get to have a swing.
So,
that's a win-win.
Win-win.
K's out of Penong. This is a beautiful little spot. You can see the big fenced off area for not being shark bait. Yeah. That's beautiful. And apparently it's fun. This is the beach. This is the beach at Point Sinclair camping area. Now we're not going to stay here, but man, this is friggin' amazing. Especially if you surf. We've driven 10k's out to Denial Bay because we just want to go and have a bit of a squid. We've got our first squid of the day.
Wow, that's a really good size.
That's a good size squid, isn't it? That's a pretty looking squid. It's going to look pretty on my plate. Here's another one. Squiddy number 2. Alright, Tanya, what have you done?
Jeez, you make it sound like it's a bad thing. Got my first one for today.
First one for today. That is a good one. And we've got 3 so far. I reckon we'll get 1 more. That'll do us. That's as far as we're going to go. So we need to figure out where to next. But before we tell you where we're going next, we just want to run through a couple of things with you. We stayed at 20 different campsites.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 47 nights, I think, since we left Kundruk. And we stayed at 20 different spots. 7 of those were caravan parks. A couple of those caravan parks were low-cost caravan parks. Walpyup was $10 a night with power. Riverton was only about $30 a night. So there were some cheap caravan parks that we stayed at. There were also some expensive ones. Port Germain was $45 a night, which was almost worth it,
It was worth
It was a beautiful spot. It was a beautiful spot. But $45 on my thing is a touch dear. Victor Harbour was my standout because paid 3 nights and got 4 nights. So it worked out at about $33 a night, which I thought was sensational for what you got. A bit away from the water, but it had everything, that park. What was your favourite caravan park, Sonia?
Port Lincoln was a really good caravan park. It had the jetty, it had all the amenities you need, and it had dolphins.
It had dolphins.
And squid, and I caught my first ever squid.
There hasn't been a lot of free camps that you come across.
No.
There's a lot of free / donation camps. Pinaroo was probably about the only genuine free one that we come across so far. And it was really close to town. But in saying that, there's not a lot to do in Pinaroo. So as a stopover, it'll be okay. A couple of things. We've stayed at a few showgrounds and a few footy grounds. I prefer the footy grounds. I reckon the footy grounds just seem to be better. The footy ground camp at Balhanna was fantastic.
Yeah. It had grass, which was a bonus because we don't see much grass in South Australia.
And it was limited sites, but it was clearly marked out sites. And it was only half an hour from Adelaide. And it was in the Adelaide Hills. It was absolutely beautiful. It was a short walk to the pub, which I'm always a big fan on, short walks to the pub. And my favourite was Whyalla at the Wudinna Bay footy ground. Most nights they open up the sports bar. We went in there a couple of nights, and the people working there were just so friendly, and even the people that were just drinking there were also friendly. So it was great just to go and have a chat to them. So I really loved the Wudinna Bay footy ground. Pub stays, we've only done 2 pub stays. One pub stay cost us a fortune because we got a bit carried away about sleeping in the back of a pub.
Yeah.
And we spent way too much.
Yes.
The other one, Arno Bay, it's $20 for 3 nights, and you get a $10 voucher to go and spend at either the cafe, the pub, or the IGA. So you effectively get 3 nights for $10. So,
and they don't expect you to eat at the pub every day or anything.
Yeah, there's no expectation from the pub. Just you get that $10 voucher to put back into the community, and take it from there. So Arno Bay was really, really, really cheap. Now the campgrounds, we probably stayed at 3 that I put in the campground. Rapid Bay, Tractor Beach, Port Gibbon. They were all slightly different. I thought
very different.
Very different. I thought they were all really good. Port Gibbon, obviously, Port Gibbon Jetty campground we stayed at, but if you've seen the video, I might put a photo up now. The jetty's not really a jetty, but that's okay. That's on us. I know Tanya would probably pick Rapid Bay, and I'll probably pick Tractor Beach.
I think they're pretty close.
They are very close, aren't they?
Yeah, really close.
Like Rapid Bay we backed right up onto the water, so we were basically at the beach, had the water at the back of our van, which was absolutely fantastic. But there was a lot of people there. Tractor Bay was Tractor Beach was a little bit more secluded. It was a lot smaller. There was only like 15 campsites, and I think on the last night we only shared it with 3 other vans. We've had a great time going up the Yorke Peninsula, and like dolphins have been nearly everywhere. We've seen seals and sea lions and all sorts of stuff. We've caught fish, we've caught squid. Could not be happier with our time at on the air.
Yeah.
The only thing is, there's so many other places that we could have stopped at, and so many other places we could have went to and really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So many places we'd love to get back to. But that leads us to where we're going now. On our way up here, we skipped the Yorke Peninsula on purpose because it was
school holidays,
Easter. It was the February, March time of year, which we thought might have been way too busy on the Yorke Peninsula. So we decided to skip that. So we've already started our trek from Ceduna, and we're going to shoot back to the top of the Yorke Peninsula, and we're going to do the coast of the Yorke Peninsula.
Yep. So
if you're liking what we're doing and you haven't subscribed yet, like and subscribe, and we will take you down the Yorke. And, I would pronounce it Wudinna, but apparently it's called Wudinna. And this is the showgrounds, and you get these massive big sites. You get power and water for 20 bucks, unpowered for 10. So great big sites. They can take some massive rigs. As you can see, we've got a big old bus there and another bus over there. You can reverse in, you can stay hitched up. And we're staying here for a couple of nights. But if you're just looking for a nice, easy place to spend a night as you're crossing South Australia, heading onto the air, this would be great. Oh, it is great. We've got the toilet block, which is really clean and well looked after. Now there's only one shower, and it's a pay shower for hot water. $2 for 4 minutes, which is 4 minutes is long enough for me. So once again, only one shower, so you probably have to watch to see who's going in and going out. Last night we had, I counted up, had a rough count, about 20. There's still, you know, there's still a few sites left, there's still a few spots about. But a really welcoming town. And we're going to go and have a look at some of the stuff that's local today. Mount Wudinna tourist loop, and we've come across this structure. We think it's a sunset viewing platform. And then we got art.
Yep, it's art.
Although, you want to hold that? If you're not wearing pants, you'll be able to come and pose for photos. I'll show you.
No.
No.
Idiot. But you can see a bloody long way.
Yeah, she'd be flat.
Yeah.
She'd be flat. Our next stop on the Mount Wudinna Tourist Drive is Polder Rock Rec Reserve. So we have a bit of a gazebo and an electric barbecue. There's a walking trail. It's an information board. It tells us where we are. All right, so how far around is it, Tanya?
Got no idea, it doesn't tell us.
2 kilometres.
Is it?
Yep.
Damn.
Let's go.
Damn.
But it's a nice track. And once again, the Australian bush is beautiful. So this is Polder Rock. And what is it, Tanya?
One big rock.
One big rock. But as Tanya said,
One big rock.
that's a big rock.
It's a big rock.
This is a big rock.
It is massive, my God.
It is huge. Hard to fathom how big this rock is.
It just keeps going.
It does just keep going. It's huge. So we're probably going to wander back down onto the track. This is phenomenal. This is a big rock. Polder Rock. Should be called Polder Boulder. Marketing opportunity missed there, people. And around the base of the rock is this stone wall. Now Tanya doesn't think that it's occurred naturally. She thinks it might be man-made. But this is already paid for itself.
It was free.
Yep, absolutely, it was free, and it's worth every cent. So this end of the rock and the rock wall, it all sort of runs down into a channel. Now, I don't know when the channel was built. I don't know how far it goes. But this is absolutely collecting water. And when it rained, there'd be a lot of water because there's no soil to soak it up. Because why, Tanya?
It's a big rock.
It's just a big rock. As you can see, Polder Rock is a bloody big rock, as we've mentioned a lot of times. This beautiful handmade stone wall all the way around. Just turns it into one big water collection area.
But it's still the rock too.
And then it just flows down here into a dam. Now, I should have read that sign more and been able to give you more information about when it was built, how long it took. Because
Why
they built it. Mount Wudinna Rec Reserve, and there's plenty of different types of hikes that you can do, various levels of difficulty. Tanya and I will probably...
We'll do this one.
Alright. Does that get us to the top?
That one is the yellow one, so I'm assuming so.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well,
Oh no, that's a nature walk.
We're gonna study the sign a bit more and try and figure out which walk we're going to do. It was beautiful. It's a fantastic day. Then there's not another soul out here.
All to ourselves.
We've decided to take the orange one, which is the harder one, but it does get us to the summit. Now, it is only 1.2 kilometres, but I imagine, and just looking at the bloody big rock ahead of us, there's going to be some times where it's pretty steep. So 1.2 k's, we're going to take our time, rest when we need to, and enjoy the view. So we're onto the rock, which is the second biggest monolith rock, or second biggest monolith in Australia, behind Uluru. So you can walk up this one, which
Literally just walk up it.
yeah, so it makes it the biggest monolith in Australia that you can walk up.
Yeah, that's true.
So in the area, come and do it. It does say it's slippery when wet. It does say it's steep, as you can tell by the breathing, but we've done steeper. And to be aware of strong winds, and there's just a gentle breeze today, so perfect conditions for doing the biggest monolith in Australia that you can walk up. Oh, go South Australia. Finally.
Oh, geez.
Scott and Tanya are on top of the rock, and the tens and tens of their subscribers are chanting their name. This Sunday finds us, this Sunday finds us, this Sunday finds us.
I in no way endorse this. We've come a little way from Mount Wudinna, which you can see in the far distance, to a place called Piggery Rocks. And here we are on a rock again. The scenery is amazing. It just goes so far because it is so flat out here.
Except for the bloody big rocks.
Yes, except for the bloody big rocks.
So we left Wudinna, and I'd just like to say that why wouldn't you stop at Wudinna if you had a chance? It's a cracking spot. Give yourself a day for the rocks. It's worth it just for the rocks.
This morning we left Wudinna, and it happens to everyone, and now it's our turn. So this is what we took off. That's not great. But we're getting it all organised and put the spare on. So how's it going, Scott?
Yeah, it's going good. The traffic's great.
Yeah, some of them don't even... Oh, well, there's a truck coming, so that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. And for those of you who are my generation, we're staying at a place called Kimba. So when I was growing up, Kimba was a white lion. Now it's a small town in South Australia that has free camping. Now, as you can see, I did use the term free. They are after donations. And of course you give donations when they ask for donations. Especially when they use it for stuff like this. This is the camp kitchen. As you can see, it is massive. It's got so much seated area. There's 4 electric barbecues. So much sink space. It is just a fantastic spot. Whether it's hot, whether it's cold, this is just a great area. Now, there's 3 different caravan areas. There's that one out there, there's one around the back, and there's the one that we're staying at. Now, we got here about 1:30 yesterday, because we stopped at Kimba because we had some tyre trouble. We decided to stay at Kimba because the service was so fantastic at the tyre place, and they really did sell us this spot. But you can see all the vans that have come in. If I was Jack, I'd say there'd be more than 10. And there's another camp, another parking area if you just follow that bend around. So I don't know how many vans I'd get in here all up. There's a bloody lot. Now, like I said, we got here about 1:30. We had plenty of room. There was plenty of spaces. By the time it was dark last night, everything was chockers. But there's a couple of toilet facilities they've built that have $2 hot showers. It's a rec reserve. See the footy ground. Alright, so Kimba is also famous for, I suppose. Is it famous for?
Absolutely.
Alright, it is famous for being the halfway across Australia point. Now we're not going halfway across, we're not going the whole way across Australia. Giant bloody galah. It's a very cool looking galah. Kimba, halfway across Australia. Flaming giant galah. Actually found on maps, White Knobs Lookout. You got that bloody big thing, and I cannot get a channel on me bloody TV. Don't know what it's doing. But there's some great sculptures. There's a walking trail that goes near where the free camp is, past some Wudinna water collection. We've walked down and around the corner to the caves. Alright, it's a hole in a rock. It's not massive. I don't know what else I expect from a cave, but it's not the greatest cave we've been to. So just to give the cave a bit of scale, Tanya is showcasing the size of said cave. Yes. So we've walked around the corner and we found a bigger hole in the rock, and there's Tanya in the back. So, alright, that little one was a tiny little rock cave. This is a small rock cave. But still, technically I suppose they're caves. And they're pretty cool. And remember, don't count the years.
Make the years count.